Hey lovely sexy gaming people. Okay, welcome to today's video, which is Warhammer Stormbringer issue 32, Moonclan Shooters. So, okay, these are interesting. And there's 20 of these little buggers. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a lot. Right, anyway. File that on the floor. Right. Is there? There's 5. Yeah, so there's 20. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. Right, okay. It says 20 on the doodab on the magazine, but we get 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 bases. Am I missing something? There's no more bases in there. Yeah, and it's saying make 20. Right, they've shorted me 10 bases. So, right. Okay, we'll come on to that. I do have spare bases. So, not too much of an issue. Right, Moonclan Shooters, the 8 points magic core rules. The clammy corners. Gloomspite Gits number 3. Grots can be found everywhere. They have infested tunnels, caverns and lost underground cities across the mortal realms, choosing to live in the dark and the clammy corners no other empire would think to inhabit. So here you go, into the lurk lair. The hated sun. Gloomspite Gits dig their lairs deep underground. They hate the sun, which they call Glareface Frazzle-Leggit. Right, okay. Frazzle-Git, I should say. And hide from sunlight where possible. Grot patrols, squig pens, the bosses, squiggly beasts. Cool. Many horrible creatures live within the lairs of Gloomspite Gits. They are used as companions and food. There's a snail there that has like mushrooms growing on its shell. That's just cool. The deep caverns. Right, Varan Spire, Realm of Chaos, number 2. At the heart of the mortal realms lies the Varan Spire, a hellish fortress that towers over the vital sub-realm known as the 8 Points. So is that connected with the 8-point star of chaos? Okay, Moonclan Shooters, here we go. Moonclan Grots, armed with bows, are known as shooters. They assemble in huge, unruly hordes and use their sheer weight of numbers to overwhelm their enemies. Even the toughest foes struggle under endless hails of arrows, while those who wade through such an assault are swiftly caught in cruel nets. Right, roll a dice and refer to the table below to find any special personality traits the boss of this unit has, or you can choose the results from the table you like. So, boss traits, D6 rolling chart. And then you have unit traits on a D6 rolling chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and then there's squigs behind. Right, so here we go. So a lot of these are multiples. And this doesn't, again, this, looking at the destructions here. So we got the Moonclan boss, that's 1. Then we have the Moon Icon Bearer, that's 2. Oh, there's the Gong Basher. Sorry. Okay, right. That's making sense now. Okay, that makes sense now. I thought we were one short. So you're going to end up with 3 netters, 14 shooters, a icon bearer, a noisemaker, and the boss in your team. And then we're coming into the how to paint. So Bad Moon Yellow. No, they use an Avalon Sunset on that. Moonclan Shooters, and there you go. That's all the little buggers. Right, coming in, we have purple section for our rules, number 11. Then we have tutorial number 8 with wizards, miscasts. What happens if your spell is miscast? Ooh, there's a chance you might end up with some mortal runes. And then a mystic shield as well. An arcane bolt. And then we have our war scroll for our Moonclan shooters. So they only got a 5-inch move. They got 1 wound each. They got 4 bravery and a 6-up save. So they're a bit squishy. Each model in a Moonclan shooter unit is armed with a Moonclan bow and slitter. 3 in every 20 models in the unit can replace their weapon option with a barbed net. So you've got the command models here. So your champion, a Moonclan boss can be identified by his shield and sickle. He can make an additional attack with his Moonclaw. Musician, while the unit's Gong Basher is alive, add 1 to run rolls for the shooters. This is perfect if you need to grab an objective with them. And then the standard bearer, a Bad Moon icon bearer, carries a banner while he is alive. Your unit of shooters is slightly more durable against enemy missile weapons. And then we have our pitched battle number 2, Swirling Darkness. A strange magical phenomenon has struck in Ulgu. A deep darkness has descended across the front line. Not even the magically sighted Stormcast or the sharp-eyed Gloomspite Gits can see through it. Worse, the darkness appears to have a mind of its own and may be the result of a spell cast by one of Ulgu's capricious shadow demons. The armies of order and destruction must battle beneath this magical fog. For the canniest commanders, this is an opportunity to conceal troops and advance unseen. But for the unwary, death lurks in the darkness. So the Alliance of Order are taking the Lord Imperator, the Knight Arcanum, Lord Aquila, 5 Vigilors, a Stormstrike Chariot and 6 Gryphounds. And then the Alliance of Destruction is taking the Loon Boss, the Kill Boss with Stabgrot, Zarbag's Gits, 20 Moonclan Shooters and 10 Gut Rippers. You're using both of the desert battle mats that we've had previously, and you're deploying each along the short side. Okay, and then the next 2 issues we've got the Night Judicator and 2 paints, Inky by Darkness, Known Oil. Come on then, let's come and have a look at this plastic. Come down, la da da. Right, I am annoyed that they've only supplied 10 bases. 10 bases. But here's your shooters. Now, this is a sculpt of 2006. So, and in all honesty, I did kind of think it was going to be a much older sculpt because of the way it's laid out onto the sprue. But also to note is that with these, because it's an older sprue, there are no part numbers. But here you go. Here's your 20 Moonclan shooters. There's the icon here The banner is nicely embossed though, so that's good. Here's your gong maker. So again, that's also embossed with a moon. It's a shame they didn't carry the gong detail. So where it's hammered on this side to get the shape, it's a shame they haven't carried it through on the underside. Yeah, you've also got obviously some iconography as well kicking around. But yeah, they've packed a lot on here. So obviously you can make these as something else. So you've got the spears and shields. I don't know what unit that would make, but we've got the shooters. So we've got our bows here. Some of them are readied to enable them to be drawn and fired. These are, I'm assuming, when it says slitters, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 10 swords. So I'm assuming then that we can put in things like the stick with a spike on it and such things like that as weapons. Or is that something completely different? Or does the slitter just refer to a dagger that they might be carrying? Okay, interesting. I think you're going to get lots of spare parts left over out of this. Certainly these weapons, I think, could very well be. So your shields, your spears, your swords, your melee weapons basically. And then I think that the bows are all going to be used. And we've obviously got the net catchers. So you only get 3 in the kit, which is the maximum you can take. So come back and I'll build one of the shooters and the noisemaker, the boss and the banner bearer. Oh, and maybe a net thrower as well. We'll build a net thrower. Right, see you in a sec. Oh, let's build some Moonclan shooters, shall we? So the first thing I'm going to do actually is glue the banner to the banner pole, and the reason for this is just so it has time to go off. So that literally just sticks together like so. And then that's just going to sit aside. Now let's make our boss. So now I do prefer to stick minis directly to the base prior to having all the arms and stuff stuck on them. It just means that I'm not trying to stick a mini to the floor, as it were, with a load of greeblies sticking out everywhere that may be still setting. So I'm going to do this now. Do need to order myself some more plastic weld. And then the last one. That's there. Right. So our boss, he has a separate head. He's the only one of these miniatures that does, and we are going for the head with the spiky attachments. I don't know if that's his ears or what. We then have the shield to go on. And then the sickle that he's carrying. So, as he's a boss, we'll have him holding it up in the air. Like that. So the shield with these spikes on it, not the best fit. But there's our boss. Right, next is our noisemaker. And I'm going to put the war gong on first. Like so. And then the gong. Now, in the instructions, it says to have it so that the piece that he strikes the gong with, this thing here, is uppermost, but I'm trying to just give these a little bit more dynamicism. So with this guy, I'm going to put his sword arm so that the sword is out in front of him, like that, and then pop the banner on like so. I'm just gonna dab some glue so that it's contact on the base as well, so just to help hold that in place. So there's our banner bearer. And then we've got a net thrower, and this is literally just two parts. You haven't got a lot of wiggle room with regards to posing with this, so except for slightly different bodies, your people like your net thrower here are pretty much going to be the same, and again, the same with, this is just 2 pieces. There are bowmen that are 3 pieces, where they're holding the bow in one hand and they've got the quiver in the other. So again, I'm going to try and just raise up the bow slightly rather than have it hanging down as far. And there you go. That's all 3 of our minis. So we've got the boss, or as he's described, the champion. We've got the noisemaker, and then we have the totem, banner bearer, whatever you want to call it. We have one of the net catchers. The faces on these are actually quite good. I do like them. But they're not going to be mine, they're going to be somebody else's. And then obviously we have a shooter. So there you go. That is essentially how the main different types go together. So I'll see you in the next video. Alright, take care. Bye bye.